Hello, guys. Welcome to Sporting and Out. On today's episode, we're talking about the Champions League and the Europa. This week, we had a lot of games, which we'll be discussing. We'll be diving into the topic. And yes, we'll be giving you a lot of match analysis. A lot happened this week. DECLAN scoring two free kick versus Real Madrid. Arsenal winning the first leg of that time, and people saying that Real Madrid can still come back now. Let's see. And also Barcelona winning, making a statement 4-0 versus Dortmund in their first leg. We'll be giving all that. But before we move on, I'll be telling you the scoreline of the Champions League. So Arsenal defeated Real Madrid, like I said, 3 goals to nothing. Wow. Borussia Dortmund were defeated by Barcelona, 4 goals to 0. PSG, I was so happy for this game. They defeated Aston Villa 3 goals to 1, and Inter Milan defeated FC Bayern Munich 2 goals to 1. Yeah, and for the Europa, we had Bodo Glimt defeating Lazio 2 goals to 0. Lyon, Manchester United, all square 2-2. Rangers versus Athletic Club, all square as well, 0-0. Tottenham versus Frankfurt, all square as well, 1-1. And so we'll just be discussing about some of the games. So we'll be starting with let's just start with the Europa. And what are your thoughts on the game between Lyon versus Manchester United? Yes, before I will even mention Lyon versus Manchester United, didn't you find it weird or funny that Bodo Glimt got the win over Lazio, like a whole Lazio, king of for me, Lazio hasn't played too well this season. But in the qualifying stages, I think Lazio played better. But if you look at the Italian table and all, Lazio hasn't been doing properly and well to do as a Champions League side will be playing. And I think Bodo Glimt right now are tough, and they've put themselves in that caliber to be called a tough team. And I think, yeah, Bodo Glimt actually deserves the win. Yes, for me, I actually gave Lazio the win without even giving Bodo Glimt a chance of even qualifying this out of this particular tie, because Lazio is actually they were actually the top of the table. Manchester United finished third, and I was so surprised about what happened in that game. And when I saw 2-0, I was like, wow. So moving on to the main game that we're talking about, which is Lyon versus Manchester United. That game ended 2-2, but it was meant to end 2-1. All because of what our goalkeeper Ange Onana cost us that game. I think Andy Onana should actually be because I feel probably that goalkeeper he looks as himself as the only option Manchester United has. Even the second option, Bayada, is actually way better than Andy Onana this season. I saw a record. Andy Onana has considered nine goals leading to nine errors leading to goals. So I think Andy Onana, the next transfer window, I think Manchester United should be looking forward to the transfer window and getting another keeper and actually getting Andy Onana out of the system, or actually giving him a tough competition. If he's being stripped of the number one goalkeeper shirt, and we have another goalkeeper who is competing for, like Arsenal. Arsenal has Ramsdale. They had Ramsdale and they had Raya before Ramsdale actually left to Southampton. And so I think Andy Onana actually cost Manchester United that game. And my players actually played very well. We saw Lenny Yoro scoring his goal in the Europa, and also we saw Joshua Zexi actually doing a lot in that game. I also think the substitutions Ruben Amorim made also made a difference. like you also mentioned, I wanted to mention Arsenal as an example. Arsenal had Raya and Ramsdale. I believe Raya and they were both swapping roles last season, where Ramsdale will play this week, Raya will play next week, and Raya still ended up still keeping a lot of clean sheets that season.
He actually won the Golden
Glove as well, and he won it with by a mile. Not even just that, he had competition, and and they were swapping that particular role as goalkeeper in that.
All right, so let's just move on to the next game. That's Rangers Athletic Club. We know that Athletic Club actually had a goal, and there was actually controversy in that game where the goal was ruled out, and they told them to actually get to play a penalty, and Athletic Club actually missed that penalty chance, and the Rangers goalkeeper actually pushed it out. And what do you think about that game?
Yes, for that game, I was actually very excited about that game, thinking that maybe Rangers was going to take the win, because I really want them to advance, so that if Manchester United peradventure move into the semi-finals, we will know that we're not really going to meet really tough opponents, because Athletic Club is really a tougher opponent for Manchester United at this moment, because we don't know whatever we can do, because if we are playing with Onana in the goalpost, I don't think we are really safe for Manchester United. And for Athletic Club, for a club without their pedigree, Rangers played with 10 man down from 4 minutes of that game, and they still end up.
But do you think them holding that 0-0 is due to the home court? I think when they actually moved to Spain to play at Athletic Club's stadium, I think it's going to be another ball game. I think Rangers would actually. I don't think Rangers will be able to stand Athletic Club in their stadium.
Yeah, so the last game is going to be Tottenham versus Frankfurt. We're not really going to be talking much about that, because we have to move straight to the Champions League. So we're moving to the Champions League, and we'll be discussing. We will be discussing about the elephant in the room. Actually, the elephant in the room, which is going to be Arsenal versus Real Madrid. Whoever thought that Arsenal will get 3 goals and Real Madrid will not be able to score.
Yeah, so for me, that game, DECLAN scoring two free kicks, and that game was just when I was seeing the goal, because I was actually in support of Real Madrid actually scoring a goal in that game, but Real Madrid not getting at least a goal. But I just love the way the aftermath of that match, where we saw the likes of Jude Bellingham, we saw the likes of Kylian Mbappe, we saw the likes of Vinicius Junior actually coming to take responsibility for the loss, and actually saying that they can do it. And let's just see what will happen in the second leg to decide whatever is going to be happening. So what do you think about the game?
Yes, about the game between Arsenal versus Real Madrid. I actually supported Real Madrid, I won't lie, for the win, but Arsenal proved me wrong. Declan scoring 2 free kicks. I don't know who I should blame for that free kick. If it's going to be the defense that didn't jump high, or Courtois that just.
I actually saw a picture, or I saw a picture of the free kicks, and I felt that one was very poor. They actually made they did the wall in such a way that they gave the Canary space to actually put the ball into the net. And I also keeper Courtois actually has a fault in it, because he was meant to actually keeper Courtois now is now playing the type of goalkeeping like Andy Onana, making flimsy mistakes. It's not just this is not just the first time he's actually doing that now, and I think he's actually well, I think they will improve in the second leg. I think the second leg will give us a chance to know if Real Madrid is a top team or not.
Yes, right? I actually think that Real Madrid can do. If there's any team that can do a comeback, it's going to be Real Madrid. And I'm not saying that they are going to officially do it because they need 3 goals. It's really it's a tall ask. But if they are going to do it in the next leg, I think they need to score very early. They need to score 3 goals very early so that even if Arsenal is going to equalize, they can be able to equalize as well in the second half.
So that being said, let's go to the game between Barcelona versus Dortmund. Barcelona scoring 4 goals, Lewandowski 2 goals, Rafinha scoring, being on the score sheet again, and Lamine Yamal. So first of all, I'll just ask you a question. What do you think about Lamine Yamal this season?
Yes, Lamine Yamal has been spectacular this season. Someone said that is the chosen one after Messi. I don't think I would maybe they say if he's the chosen one after Messi because of he's a Barcelona player. Because I don't believe that Messi is the goat. I believe Cristiano Ronaldo is the goat. That's my own belief. You can have yours. For that's for stating that after stating that rather, I just want to talk about the game. The game was actually it was an interesting tie. It was an expected one. I didn't expect 4-0 rather, but I was expecting Barcelona to take the win both home and away, and they just showed that they were home and they were comfortable with that particular game.
Yeah, so for me, one player that has actually improved. Let me just say the most improved player this season is actually Rafinha, topping the Champions League on goals, being in assist conversation as well. I think he has 5 assists as well. So he's actually doing well. Rafinha is one player that you look up to last season and you be like, this player can't do anything. But actually this season doing a lot, changing the game. When you put him on the football pitch, he actually scores the goals for you.
Yes, being in some conversations of like them comparing him with Cristiano Ronaldo, telling him that he's going to get a Cristiano Ronaldo record, that's really a huge achievement for him. In just being in the quarterfinals, and he has not even played just many games.
So let's move on to PSG versus Aston Villa. PSG defeated Aston Villa 3 goals to 1. And I'll just say that Aston Villa has played good football, but I just saw that in that tie, Aston Villa didn't really show that sense of urgency on actually winning the trophy. And I think PSG actually edged that game very well, and their players played spectacular. What do you think about that tie?
Yes, for me, PSG is a team that they have Dembele.
Yeah.
Yes, they have other players. I don't think Dembele scored
Was it on that score sheet?
in this particular game, but Dembele is such an impactful player in this game. I know some people would have started saying some trash. Some Barcelona fans would have started talking trash because he didn't score. But who brought them into this particular quarterfinals? It is Dembele. Yes. Dembele has been so impactful. Yeah. He has been a player. He didn't make them miss Kylian Mbappe leaving the club. And if there's anything that is going to beat Real Madrid to winning this particular Champions League, it is PSG, because I've actually been loving their football this season. They've won their league. They've won their league. They've won their own their federation,
their own
France Cup, and they are just going for more and more and more and more and more. And I hope that because they are the only side in the French league, and there's no other.
Also there was a news that came in that Arsenal will be taking the fifth slot for the Champions. Not Arsenal, rather the English Premier League will be taking the fifth slot for the Champions League, and that's a very good news. That's if Arsenal defeats Real Madrid in the second leg, and let's just be hopeful. So at least we can see EPL take that last slot in the Champions League. So we're going fully to Bayern Munich, Inter Milan.
Yes, there was not really much to say in that particular time because we don't really have time for that. But I would just say that Bayern Munich needs to step up their game if they are going to qualify out of this particular leg, the next leg.
But I don't think that might be possible because they are going to Inter's home, and we have that in Italy, we have that sense of like when own presence in that place. So I think Inter Milan will actually be edging that, and that comes to an end of Champions League conversation. You can also bet on one expert using our promo code Sport In and Out, SPORTINANDANDOUT. Thank you guys. There's also a new
there's a new feature on one expert which is called the cash out option.
Yes.
So you can just if your bet is not going the way you feel. Let me use an example. Arsenal, you bet on Real Madrid and they are still playing 0-0 and you're like, who is going to win this game? You can just go and check the cash out option and just cash out. It's a win-win situation when you have the cash out option.
So that ends our conversation today. Thank you guys for watching. Like, share, and subscribe.